Hello, this is Ted Johnson with Marketing for Guides, and this quick video is entitled, Why is Mobile So Important for Lodges, Guides, and Outfitters? Have you been to an airport lately, or even to a restaurant? What is on almost everybody's hands that you see there? Of course, it's a mobile phone, and in most cases, it's a smartphone. Now, to give you an idea globally of how big the mobile market is, there are 6.8 billion people on this planet, and 5.1 billion of them own a cell phone, but only 4.2 billion of them own a toothbrush. I think we're all in the wrong business. It looks like maybe we should be selling toothbrushes. But the facts are, the average smartphone user checks their phone 221 times per day and spends over 3 hours on that device per day. And here's the big thing. 60% of all website views are now done on mobile devices. According to CNN, Americans use smartphone and tablet apps more than PCs to access the internet. Now, this was published in January of 2014, last year. This is the first time this has ever happened, and now, of course, it's up to 60% or even higher. Some fun facts. 91% of people keep their phone within 3 feet of themselves 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. And did you know that 70% of all mobile searches or mobile sites that people see on their phone result in some sort of action taken by that individual within 1 hour period of time? Now, Jason Spero of Google, who's the Google Mobile Sales and Strategy Manager, was quoted on saying, 2/3 of smartphone users say a mobile-friendly site makes them more likely to buy a company's product or service, and 74% of them said they're more likely to return to the site at a later time. He went on and said, when you offer users a desktop experience on mobile, meaning that you're having them look at your traditional website on a mobile device, Spero notes it's kind of crap. Google's advice is to create a fast mobile site with big buttons and text and keep steps to complete tasks to a minimum. The facts are, people are 3 times more likely to contact you from a mobile site visit than a traditional website, and here's the note, if they have a positive experience. The problem is, most businesses, whether they're guides, lodges, outfitters, restaurants, or beauty parlors, whatever it is, they're giving a desktop experience to a mobile user. Meaning if you bring up their site on your mobile device, all you see is either a very, very small rendition of the website that can't be seen, or they enlarge it to the point where it's so big you can read it, but then you have to scroll back and forth and you're looking through this very, very small window at a great big site. Now, there are 2 solutions to solve this. First is something called a responsive website, and the second is a custom mobile website. Now, responsive websites have been around since about 2011. They have little or no ability to customize them, so you really can't change the formatting of them. What they simply do is take all the information on your website and they kind of scrunch it down to a point where it fits on a mobile device and it can be read a little bit easier. They have little or no ability to utilize the phone's features, such as automatic dialing, the GPS feature, some of the other things that are built into the phone. And here's a key thing. If your site that's been developed doesn't have it already, meaning it doesn't have the responsive offer to it, it would require a full website redesign. Ethan Marcotti of Smashing Magazine said, most importantly, responsive web design isn't intended to serve as a replacement for mobile sites. Now, here's a site that we recently put up, and you may have already gone to it. It's our site that we put up for Marketing for Fishing Guides, and just talks about the mobile offerings that we have available. As you'll note, it's not a real big site. There's a lot of information that's stuck on this wide screen, but you can easily navigate it and get down to the bottom and take a look at all of the different FAQs and that sort of thing that we placed on the site. But if you now take a look at the responsive version of this site, what you see is that all that information now has been compacted into a smaller version to fit on the phone. So basically what it's done is it's taken that information, kind of squished it. If it is a lateral type design, then it puts it more in a linear fashion, and it's just stacking graphics one on top of another. Think of it as a long receipt that you get like from Walmart or any of the stores that you shop at. It's just taking all this information and we're kind of scrolling through this receipt. This is no different than what we've just seen on the website or the desktop version of the website. It's simply been put together or scrunched together, if you may, so that I can scroll through it on my mobile device, and we're almost at the bottom, and there we go. Now, a custom mobile site is different. It focuses on a user experience and encourages interaction. It takes advantage of lots of the phone's features. It can provide different or additional information that you'd provide on a mobile device instead of on a website. And there are differences. There are things that you want to provide people on a mobile site that may not be appropriate on a desktop and vice versa. And it does not require your website to be redesigned, because most of you have spent a tremendous amount of money designing out your website, and why would you want to spend more money in the redesign of it? So here is a mobile site that a lodge up in Alaska has. As you can see, they're taking advantage of the real estate of the screen and showing large images, and that draws the user in. The other thing is everything is thumb friendly. There's hotkeys down there where you can click on Call Us and the phone will automatically call you. You can share on Twitter or on Facebook. There's a book a trip function that's in the bottom left-hand corner. No, again, I'm not having to scroll through this site to get to the various functions of it. In this site, they've also placed their gallery. Now, the galleries can contain as many photos as you like. They can be tied into many of the different photo services out there. And so as you're updating your Instagram or other types of photo services, these photos can be automatically updated into the mobile site, and it gives a really good user experience to take a look at the photos of your lodge or your services. Also on the front page, they have fishing reports that they update on a weekly basis and the rates for the going to the lodge. There's even a More button that takes you to more functionality within the site. Again, you're not having to scroll through things to find things. They put up a GPS locator using Google Maps, and they've highlighted all of the cities and geographic points of interest around their lodge. They've also gone down and they've included a Receive Our newsletter. This is tied in directly into a newsletter service that they use where people can put in their name and their email address. In addition, they're listing all of the different sportsman shows that they're at. You can click on these sportsman shows and it'll give you more details, even turn-by-turn directions using the phone's GPS capability to get there. They have our videos that'll come off of YouTube. They've placed in there what we fish for. This is sort of a fish identifier. It lists all the different salmon or the freshwater fish that they fish for, and you can drill down. It gives you larger pictures of the fish. This is a great tool for fishermen to keep in their pocket as they're fishing, no matter where they're at, to identify different types of fish they may be catching. They, of course, fish the saltwater, so they even included the rockfish that they fish for, and that's included in the application. Again, this may be something you might not want to include on your website, but it makes sense to have it on a mobile app to keep people's interest, if you may. They've tied in a testimonial page into Facebook, so anytime anybody posts a testimonial, it automatically goes to Facebook. They've tied this in to their camera, into their mobile phone, and they can send photos directly to the lodge of the fish they catch. And then in addition, they have what's called a fish weight calculator, and they can go in and they can put in the length of the fish and the girth of the fish, and automatically calculates out the weight, and then they can email that to themselves, and it has a lot of other information about the GPS coordinates and that sort of thing. So again, this is a mobile application or a mobile website. It's a lot different than a responsive website, and its function and its ability to create interaction with people is increased dramatically. So, what kind of image would you like for your business? Something where you're just showing them your typical website and they're having to move and maneuver around and probably get frustrated and leave, or would it be better to have a true customized mobile application or mobile site that takes advantage of these small screen sizes and the functionality of that device? Here's a real life perspective. Lately we had a client of ours that attended a trade show, and after the trade show for the last 10 days they had 300 visitors to their website. Now if the calculations by Google are correct, 40% of those visitors saw them or saw their website on a computer. So 120 visitors went and saw their traditional website, but 180 of them now, because 60% of all visitors to websites come off of a mobile device, saw their website or what they had in regards to a mobile website on their mobile device. So 1.5 more times people saw their website on a mobile device. If we drill down even further, if let's say 5% of those people contacted them from a traditional website, that means that 5% of the 120 visits that visited their traditional website would contact them, and they got 6 contacts that way. Now look what happens. Remember that on a mobile site you get 3 times more interaction from people, right, if the mobile site is set up correctly. So if instead of you get a 5% interaction rate, you get a 15% interaction rate, then 27 people then contacted this business to talk to them more about their lodge and setting up a trip. So they again have more visitors to the mobile site. They've had 180 visitors times the 15%. That's 27 calls, right, that they would get from their mobile site. So the results are the number of contacts from going to a website in this scenario is about 1 in 20. You'll get a call from about 1 in 20 people that show up on your website. But on a mobile site, if it's set up correctly, according to the statistics, you should get about 1 out of every 6 people interacting with you in a fashion about your business, just because of the way the mobile site is set up. So my question to you is, which is better? We as a company, we develop out mobile solutions for guides, lodges, and outfitters. They're all custom designed specifically for your business. They work on Apple, Android, and all Windows devices. We provide you with ongoing support and updates, and we integrate your mobile site with your current website, and so that you're not having to reinvest in a very expensive additional website. Again, I'm Ted Johnson with Marketing for Fishing Guides. I want to thank you so much for watching this short video. If you would like to contact us, the contact information is below. Our phone number is 503-380-8012. Thanks again.